Okay, everyone from Dancing Hot Dog, thanks for taking a second to look at this. My name is John Vignaffi. I'm the executive producer on Disney Infinity, and what you're seeing right here are the officially announced characters for Disney Infinity Marvel Superheroes, our sequel to Disney Infinity, which was released last year. We announced the integration of the Marvel Superheroes a few months ago, but just because we're adding Earth's Mightiest Heroes in the cast of Spider-Man doesn't mean that we're neglecting the true Disney fans. In fact, quite the opposite. So far we've announced that Princess Merida, as well as Maleficent, will be joining from the Disney side. We'll have more Disney characters that we'll be revealing in the months leading up to launch. Disney Infinity Marvel Superheroes will be available this fall. We'll have a starter pack that comes with all the key components you need to get started. The starter pack will come with Iron Man, come with Black Widow, as well as Thor, plus the Avengers playset piece. It'll also come with the Infinity base as well as our new 2.0 software. Now, the Avengers playset is the main game that comes with Infinity 2.0. This particular playset piece, once it's placed down on the Infinity base, will unlock a 4 to 6 hour game based on Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the Avengers. You can take any of your characters and experience a brand new adventure with an original storyline inside of Disney Infinity 2.0. Also available at launch, and we just announced a few weeks ago, is the cast and characters from the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. A playset will be available at launch that features Spider-Man and Nova, as well as the Spider-Man playset piece. This particular piece will give you access to that Spider-Man playset, which is also 4 to 6 hours. Additionally, we'll have Iron Man, Venom, and Nick Fury sold separately. Now, what we're going to focus on today, though, is a couple of things. We're going to show you the new Spider-Man playset, and we're also going to take a look at the Toy Box mode, where nearly 60% of our players' time was spent building and creating and using their imagination to become the Disney storyteller. So let's jump in to the Spider-Man playset. Okay, so you probably want to maybe stop it and then put it in there. I know. Okay. That's good. Okay, so we're inside of the Spider-Man playset right now. Now the story behind this particular playset is that Mysterio and Green Goblin have actually gone and kidnapped Venom, who's typically one of Spider-Man's nemesis. And they've actually cloned the symbiotes out of him, which is this alien bug that has infested Venom. Now Venom escapes from the lab that Green Goblin and Mysterio had kidnapped and held him hostage inside of, and he's angry. So he actually teams up with Spider-Man, as well as the other characters from the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, to put an end to the symbiote scourge that's invading Manhattan. Now, one of the things that we did that's a key difference from the first version of Infinity with the new version is we've integrated totally new character mechanics for all of the different characters in the game. Last time around, characters like Jack Sparrow and Barbossa, although they both use swords, primarily felt the same way. But with Infinity 2.0, we want all these characters to feel incredibly different. From the way that they move about the environment to the way that they fight, it was of paramount importance to make sure every character felt unique and felt individual. So I'm demoing some of Spider-Man's web slinging abilities, but he also has the ability to do a wall crawl as well, which is a lot of fun. And it's very, very easy to control for players. Now in this particular scene, one of the first symbiotes goes and attacks Luke Cage, who's one of Spidey's friends, who actually informs you a little bit more about what's happening inside of the world and what you need to do to stop it. Now inside of the playsets, we focus a lot on combat. But inside of our Toy Box mode of play, that's actually where we focus on a lot of building and the customization. We'll show more of that later. So I'm showing some of Spider-Man's actual wall crawling abilities, which is something that makes him very, very special. So he can actually move around different buildings, and of course he can web sling as well, as I was showing you earlier. And when it comes to fighting baddies, Spider-Man is certainly no slouch. Let's take a look at some of the abilities that he has. One of the key things that we did this year is we've added a skill trees and attribute system to the game. This actually allows players to customize their individual characters however they want to. So for example, right here, I'll pull up Spider-Man's skill tree. Now, as I defeat baddies inside of the game, I'm going to earn experience points. And as I gain levels, I'll earn skill points. I can then use those skill points and spend those skill points to upgrade Spider-Man however I want to. What you're seeing right here is a skill tree, and for the sake of this demo, I've actually unlocked all of Spider-Man's abilities. But that won't be the case in the final version of the game. There'll be 40 options in total, but there'll be 30 options that you can possibly unlock once you reach the maximum level. And the reason why we've done it that way is because we want players to feel like they're making real choices for the way that they level up their character. And we also want players to turn around and say, you know what, I'd like to have multiple versions of Spider-Man, perhaps one that's more focused on combat versus one that's more focused on web slinging. And players are going to be able to do that with our new skill tree system. Now, that not only applies to all the Marvel characters, but also all of the new Disney characters, as well as all of the old Disney characters. So fans of 1.0, if you've purchased Buzz Lightyear, Rapunzel, and Wreck-It Ralph and Vanellope von Schweetz, you'll be glad to know that all of your characters from the first version of the game are forwards compatible and will work inside of Disney Infinity 2.0's Toy Box mode. But even more exciting is that all of those characters will also have their own skill tree and attribute system. Why that's important is because there's other Toys to Life games out there that do allow you to play with your characters inside of the new versions. But with Infinity, our vision is different. We want to make sure that your characters from the first version of the game are just as relevant and also benefit from all the different improvements that we've put into the second version of the game. So allowing your Buzz Lightyear, for example, to be able to upgrade his stats and abilities is exactly a way that we're demonstrating our commitment to our players to do just that. Let me show you some of the differences now of some of the other characters. I'll take Spider-Man off and I'll put Nova on so you can see a little bit what this character's like. Now you saw the web slinging that happened with Spider-Man, but with Nova, he's actually a very powerful character. Not only does he use special abilities to fight different enemies, but he also has a projectile attack that he can use, and he also has the ability to fly, which is certainly a lot of fun inside of Marvel Manhattan. And that's where this entire playset takes place. So I'm going to fly around with Nova a little bit and just show you how big and expansive this city is. Your kids are going to have a ton of fun going and exploring this environment, this version of Manhattan that we've created, and stopping all these different symbiotes from invading. Now, in addition to Manhattan being the location that the Spider-Man playset takes place, it's also the location that the Avengers playset takes place. Although that particular playset's in a little bit different situation. Loki, the god of mischief, has actually descended upon Manhattan inside of the Avengers playset. And he has tried to put New York into a forever freeze by summoning frost giants and creating a casket of ancient winters. And it's up to Earth's mightiest heroes to put a stop to him before he officially freezes over Manhattan, colder than any winter we've ever experienced before, and then eventually the world. So we're showing you a little bit of Nova's abilities right now, but I want to actually show you some cool things that we've done with our power discs. Now, if you guys are fans of the original version, you probably remember these power discs that we had. These were sold in blind packs of 2 for $4.99 each. Now, the way that these power discs work is you can put them underneath a character, and they'll give your character special abilities inside of the game. But we've actually increased them in their functionality a lot with Disney Infinity 2.0. So this particular disc is a summon disc. It allows me to actually summon another Marvel character to my aid. This particular character is White Tiger. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down, and you'll see on screen there it says Marvel Team Up White Tiger. It takes about 20 seconds for it to load up. And so while I'm waiting to call White Tiger to my aid, I'm actually going to use Spider-Man to do some damage to these different symbiotes that are attacking me right now. Another fun disc that we have is one that also has the ability to change the character's costume. Of course, you can put this under any character and have a benefit where your character is going to receive more health. But if you actually take this particular power disc and put it underneath Spider-Man, not only will he gain that health bonus, but he's also going to have the ability to change his costume. Let's take a look. So I'll put this one right under Spidey here, and then you'll notice that it should pop up on screen that I've got Alien Symbiote Spider-Man. Pardon me, there's a little bug right there. Go ahead and put him back in, and now you've noticed that it's also changed Spider-Man's costume. And that's something that Marvel fans, comic book collectors, and fans of the cartoon series really love. Definitely changing all your characters' costumes is a ton of fun. And it's not only just Spider-Man. We also have character costume changes in our power disc for characters like Iron Man to change his armor from his standard armor to his Mark 7 armor. And the Incredible Hulk, you can change him from his standard green color to his gray Hulk color. So there's lots of different customizations that we can do. Now it looks like I'm taking a lot of damage from these different symbiotes, so it's probably time to call in White Tiger to fight for my aid. So I press a button, you can actually see that now she's on screen. She's going to help me in this little sticky situation. And it's great, because when you're running into all these different characters that are attacking you and doing damage to you, or if you're in a particularly tough boss battle, you can summon in up to 2 other Marvel superheroes to come fight for your aid. So we showed you White Tiger, but we've got other ones as well. We have, for example, Winter Soldier from Captain America and the Winter Soldier that you can bring to fight for your aid. We also have Nick Fury, who will call in a missile strike from the Helicarrier. So lots and lots of different customizations and ways that you can play with your characters, not only inside the playsets, but also the toy box.
And Disney Interactive had a lot of contests to make the best different worlds. Are you going to be doing that with Disney Infinity 2 also?
Absolutely. So we will continue to support all of our best content creators and celebrate how we have such an amazing community around Disney Infinity, with having all new contests and all new toys and all new tools that you can play with inside the Toy Box mode. So let's take a look at that real quick. Toy Box mode of the game. The Toy Box mode of the game, as I had mentioned earlier, is where most of our players seem to be spending their time. We're actually very surprised by the demographic split that we're seeing inside of Disney Infinity. We thought we were primarily going to appeal to 6 to 12-year-olds and about 70% boys and 30% girls, but it actually ends up that this is more of a 4-quadrant property than we ever expected. 4-quadrant meaning that not only applies to boys and girls, but also game players young and old. So one of the key things that we wanted to do this year was really increase our usability inside of the game. Fans of the first version of the game remember that in the Toy Box mode, you could build structures. You could use your imagination to become the Disney storyteller. Building structures was relatively easy, but it was also daunting and took a lot of time for players to do. I mean, to build a simple pyramid like I just showed you right there, it took a couple of seconds, but to make a more intricate world, a more advanced world, something that you really want to play inside and explore, took quite some time. For the sake of this demo, we created this city toy box that you see right here. It's kind of like a little mini version of Times Square. So we've got these different streets that go around, we've got this kind of fun park in the middle and these different buildings. Something like this would probably take the average player, about an hour to create. But what we wanted to do with the new version of Infinity is ensure that everyone that played inside the game felt like they were a master toy box creator. And one of the key ways that we've done that is we've integrated an auto creator feature. So I'll show you a quick demo of that right now. For those of you that might be writers out there, you know that you've put a blank piece of paper in front of a writer. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to go and write the next amazing novel. And the same thing was kind of true with the Toy Box mode. Just because you put all these advanced tools in front of someone didn't necessarily mean that they were going to create the toy box of their dreams. But what we wanted to do is allow every player to feel special. So we've done that with this auto creator feature, which is essentially procedural generation. With the simple press of a button, I can actually put down this treehouse creator, for example. The computer uses an algorithm to begin procedurally generating terrain for my character to explore and to play on. And just like all things inside of the Toy Box mode, this can actually be edited at any point by players. Now, it doesn't apply just to, of course, a treehouse. We have so many different brushes, that we call them, that allow players to procedurally generate environments for them to play with. And as you can see right here, the computer has actually gone and built me a pretty interesting structure that I can go and play with. So like I mentioned, we've got ones that will actually build new cities for you. So not only different buildings, but also the ground underneath them. And we've got ones that are for fans of racetracks, for example. You can quickly go and put a racetrack down, and within a matter of seconds, the computer will actually go and create a racetrack that you can race on. They'll even put artificial intelligence splines on that racetrack, so you can drop enemy racers down, and they'll actually race along that same area. So that's a little bit that happens with our different auto creators. Now, for a younger audience that might not want to use the tools as sophisticated as they are right there, we also have what we call our little builders. So for example, if you remember from Aladdin the Sultan, you can actually put the Sultan down right here, and he'll actually go and begin automatically generating the streets of Agrabah for you to go and explore and for you to go and play on. And at the same time, I can take a character like Eve for fans of WALL-E, and I can put her down, and she's actually going to go and create different foliage and different landscaping decorations. If you guys have seen Pirates of the Caribbean, you probably remember Gibbs, who's always one of Jack Sparrow's trusted shipmates. I can put Gibbs down and he'll actually go and begin building different areas of a pirate town. And I can take this particular character from the Jungle Book and put him down, and he'll actually go and begin building different rails for my characters to grind on. So as you can see right here, it's kind of like a virtual ant farm with all these different little characters moving around the environment, creating and building, where I get to supervise everything that's happening. So with this new procedural generation system, our hope is that every player can go inside the toy box and begin creating amazing environments to explore and to create. And speaking of which, for all you that are out there watching this right now, as we had mentioned earlier, each week we host a program called Toy Box TV on YouTube, as well as on the Disney Infinity website. This particular program, each week we ask the different community members of Infinity to come up with beautiful toy boxes based on different themes. For example, Frozen's released, and so we say, build the coolest Frozen toy box that you can. Or, hey, Maleficent's out in theaters, let's do some toy boxes that are dedicated to Maleficent. And our community then goes and uses the different tools that we have inside the first version of the game to create amazing toy boxes. With some of the new tools that we're putting inside of Disney Infinity 2.0, we expect the submissions to be even cooler. So each week right now, on average, we get between 5,000 and 7,000 submissions from the user community that we actually go and look through. And we typically choose the top 5 best toy boxes that were created and then make those available for download for free. And the reason why that's so important is that we want to celebrate the artists in our community that are building and creating this amazing content. And we do that by making all of our user-generated content available for download for free. And what's great is that any of the toy boxes that you've made from Disney Infinity 1.0 will automatically work inside of Disney Infinity 2.0. So right out the gate, when you get the new Disney Infinity Starter Pack, you're going to have over 150 toy boxes designed by some of the best community members available for download. Also, one of the other cool things that we've done, just to speak about how much of a commitment we have to our community, we've actually gone and we opened up 5 positions on our development team of Disney Infinity for community members. And I'm happy to report that we've filled all 5. We've actually found people inside of our community that have built and continue to build incredible toy boxes and relocated them to Salt Lake City, where our developer, Avalanche Software, is located, and given them their dream job of becoming game developers themselves. Infinity is a platform, it's a community, and it's for everyone that's out there. So thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video of not only the Spider-Man playset, but also the toy box mode. Disney Infinity Marvel Superheroes will be out this fall, and we hope to see you guys all online. Thanks.